What is up, guys? Thank you for checking out another GuidoStackin video. In this video, we actually have a guest. Angelo is here with me, and he's going to be breaking down exactly why the gold and silver price has been doing what it's been doing over the last few days. Also, in this video, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of some things to expect if you are looking for silver, if you're looking for gold. We're going to talk about market trends. It should be a very informational video. I think you guys are going to like it a lot. But anyways, without further ado, guys, Angelo is going to break down the economy a little bit, and he's going to tell us exactly why the gold and silver price has been doing what it's been doing. So there you go, Angelo.
Thank you. What's going on, guys? So as we've seen for the past couple of weeks, we've seen about a $3 dip in the price of silver. We ended January just touching on 24. Today we're looking at about 21.50, 21.60. So what's really been happening in the past couple of weeks is unemployment numbers and CPI numbers have been driving that price down. So we just had the CPI release, I believe it was the middle of last week, and we're looking at 6.3% inflation year over year. So if you take that back 2 years, we had 6.4, I believe, last year and 6.3 this year. You're looking at close to 13.5% inflation over the past 2 years. That coupled with the U.S. hitting a 50-year low on unemployment. So we have a tight labor market. Both of these stats are signaling to Jay Powell at the Federal Reserve that he is not done raising interest rates yet. Now, how does that tie into precious metals? Well, higher interest rates make cash a very attractive investment for most people. We're talking about savings accounts, short-term and long-term CDs. Treasury yields are looking very attractive, and it means that a lot of money is going to be moving into those risk-adverse investments. Because as you know, the only counterparty risk you have to cash is the U.S. government going out of business. And a lot of big investors don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. So you're going to see a lot of pressure on the gold and silver price, almost a theta, where it should be bouncing between $21 and $24 until we get to a point in time where the Federal Reserve stops the rate increases. So Guido, what have you been seeing on the retail side? What's the pricing been looking like for buyers?
So a lot of what Angelo just said, by the way, is actually good news for the long term of precious metals. Short term, obviously, we're seeing the dip, which it depends on how you look at it, guys. I see it as a buying opportunity. Some people start freaking out and start selling a lot of their stuff. I've always said it. This is a long game. It is not meant to be a short in and out type of investment or hedge or whatever. When they start to reverse those interest rates, that's when we're going to see almost like a spring effect, right? We're going to see gold and silver spike. So it depends on how optimistic you are about precious metals. And I'm not saying go all in, but at the same time, it just makes a lot of sense right now with the numbers and everything like that, that gold and silver is doing what it's doing.
So you're saying that it's a good price point to load up when we're looking at retail prices under 24 an ounce, under 25 an ounce?
I think so. I think it's pretty much what we've seen for a long time, for a couple of months at least. If you look back on the channel or any of the YouTube channels that are on precious metals, just look back a year ago or 2 years ago at what prices we were talking about. And these could be the new norm. And if you're just kind of hanging around waiting for, a huge crash, it's not going to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I don't think premiums are, they're pretty decoupled from the silver price right now, right?
Yeah. So a lot of the wholesalers, I've told you guys this before, there's levels that come all the way up until it hits the retail, right? So the first level is the distributors. The second level is the wholesalers. And then finally you get to the retail. Obviously you got, little coin shops in between there and resellers in between there. But those are the main three levels. So the wholesale is really where, it's almost where they make the prices that we pay. It's pretty much the wholesale. And then the retail is the final level, and that's what the general public is going to be buying at. And there's really no change in that. But the wholesale side, what's happening right now is the premiums are holding. A lot of the wholesalers are not going to take these massive losses. They're going to try and cycle out as much of the old inventory as possible and at least break even, right? So for an example, today, Amex.
Today we had an Amex flash sale, app exclusive, $199 over spot for Buffaloes. But that could be them moving out of dead inventory in order to free up cash to buy something new. Because the biggest part of buying and selling precious metals really isn't your entry price and your exit price, but both of them put together.
Right, exactly. So if you think about it, why do these crazy sales like this? I consider this to be a pretty crazy sale in my opinion. At least considering what we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
right?
$199 is a great premium from what we've been seeing this year so far.
To be honest with you guys, it is cheaper than the wholesale price at the moment. So why is Amex doing that when silver is already down, right? So that could be the only thing. It's a strategic move to raise a little more capital and maybe get some inventory at the new silver drop price. That's what I'm thinking.
And we've been seeing that from a few of the retailers. I mean, Monument's been running sales, SD's been running sales. A lot of them have been moving a lot of generic at low premium prices. But the sovereign coins are keeping that premium. I mean, we're still looking at ASEs at about 9 to 10 over. We're looking at Libertads at 9 to 10 over, keeping that high premium. Same thing with the Maples. The Maples are still $349, $359. The Krugerrands, $349, $359 or higher. I mean, I've seen, $6 on the new Somalia elephants that have been coming out?
Yep. And actually right here on the screen, we have the ASEs of 2023. I still think it's a terrible buy, but everyone's gonna buy what they like and what they want. But I still think they're just not a good deal, in my opinion. What do you think about Silver Eagles at the moment?
I mean, you have to like them, right? It's the sovereign coin in the country that most of us like. It's backed by the U.S. government. It's a nice design. I don't like the updated reverse as much as I like the old reverse. But if you're going to buy in bulk, if you're buying a monster box, if you're the kind of person that has that kind of money to throw around, you might go for it. But if you're a silver stacker, if you're looking for deals, if you're looking for good entry prices, it doesn't make any sense when you can get rounds between $2 and $3 over on the premium to go for a sovereign minted coin where you're paying, almost a 50%, 60% premium on that coin.
Yeah. And here we have almost 15,000 for a monster box, which honestly a couple months ago these were going for like almost 17,000. Yeah. So definitely a little discount if you can manage a monster box. Listen, the Eagles have been expensive for 3 years now. I personally don't really like them. I think there's a lot of upside still on Maples and other sovereign coins.
It is getting cheap though.
It's finally starting to come down.
Junk is getting cheap.
Junk 100%, guys. I don't want to say I called it, but
you called it.
I called it. There is a video. Let's see if there is any. Let's see. Let's go here. Junk silver finally is coming down back to earth. Let's just do a tube here. And that's about, this is the as low as. Let's see what qualifies here. No, that's it. 95.
Listen, last summer we were seeing 105, 109, 115 on $5 face for dimes.
Yep.
That wasn't Mercury. That was Rosies.
Those were Rosies. Yep. And this is actually pretty cheap right here. So $18.10 per dollar. That's not bad.
No, we were talking about 21.5 times face, 22 times face, as high as 24 times face last year.
Yeah. At one point, guys, junk was just rampant. It was out of control. And it's just so weird that so many people buy on the high.
But they won't buy on the low.
So now it's cheap and I've had trouble moving junk recently. And I get that it's coming down in price. I get it. But that's when you're supposed to be buying, on the way down, not when
Yeah,
it's
you either buy low and sell high or buy high and sell higher, but don't buy high and then look to offload all this junk now that you're losing 2, 3, 4 times face. If you like junk, if that's what you like, the fractional, the tradability of it, the history behind the coins, I mean, at 18, 10 times face, I mean, and that's on an online dealer, you can probably get that private sale. You can probably get it from Guido for the same price and save on the shipping.
yeah, for sure. Yep. My advice to you, if you got caught in that junk hype, paying 23x, 24x, it's time to start dollar cost averaging. I definitely would not leave it as it is. I would start buying a little bit more on the way down just to level out your dollar cost average. If you're one of those people that keep track, if it doesn't matter to you and you're one of those SHTF people that just wants to have it,
buy now.
I mean, still buy now, yes.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if the price doesn't matter, you have what you want, then I get it. But if not, this is definitely the time to start getting into some junk.
Yeah, I think the only thing retaining that premium right now is still going to be half dollars. I mean, quarters are coming down, dimes are coming down, half dollars are still hovering around 190. You know, some of them 200 for BU rolls, 205 maybe. But yeah, if you want junk silver, if you want constitutional, if you want to prepare for SHTF, or you just like the clink of it in a cigar box like I do, now's the time to buy. Load up on a little bit. You're saving money from what you were paying. Your dollar cost averaging down. And like Guido said, even if you don't keep track of it, you know in the back of your head, hey, my dollar cost average on my junk is going to be lower than if I didn't buy now.
Exactly. Yep. Another thing I wanted to bring up, this is something that we might not see on the retail side, but there's starting to be delays with the Britannias with King Charles. Have you heard about that?
I have. Yeah, I saw. I mean, I know they weren't getting bought out when they first came out. I remember seeing them on Matmex. I remember seeing them on Monument Metals, plenty in stock. And then over the past couple of weeks, you know, out of stock, pre-sale, maybe March 1st, March 15th. And I mean, on the private side, I don't see a lot of private sellers giving those up. You know, people are buying it. It's the first year. It's a transition year, so you definitely want to get the king and the queen. And not to be morbid, but we don't know how long this guy is going to last. So
Right.
I see a lot of collectors buying these in bulk and holding on to them as an investment.
Yeah, so and I'm actually trying to find, here's type 1, so those are the queens. Right here is the type 2s, the Charles. So
Let's see how many they have in stock.
let's see. Actually, they don't even have them. They're pre-orders.
Straight up pre-order.
So this is what I'm saying, guys. I don't know. I don't shop on Monument Metals. Being a dealer, I no longer buy from a lot of these online retailers, so I don't know. But I don't know if they had them at some point, ran out, now they're pre-ordered, or they never had them in general. So I'm actually curious if
What's the ship date? Hit the pre-order. Let's check it out.
Let's see. Week of February 17th. So just out of curiosity, if you happen to know if Monument Metals specifically has had them at some point, put that down in the comments. I am curious. But this could be exactly what I'm telling you guys. All of a sudden now, these type 2 Brits are starting to be delayed all over the place. It could be back orders. We don't know. But it's no secret these are going to be popular coins this year. And, you know, probably for the rest of the year. I mean, it's not going to stop. People are going to be buying these like crazy. And the premiums have come down on these too. These were pretty expensive when they were first
I think they were coming out at like $27.50, $28.
Yeah, and I think this has nothing to do with the actual silver price. I think this is people probably taking advantage, and by people I'm talking about wholesalers and retailers, taking advantage of the hype at the very beginning and now just kind of leveling out to a normal bullion price.
Yeah, especially with being out of stock. I don't see the premium going over $4.50. I think it's at $4 right now, maybe a little bit over.
Yeah. It says right here, oh, well, that's the lowest possible. $3.29 over spot. So, and then we got bars. Let's check out some bars.
Have you seen the prices on 10-ounce bars lately?
I have not. You want to do 10 ounce first? Let's do 10 ounce first. Let's check out 10 ounce first. Let's see. So, and half the screen's cut off for some reason. Let me see if I can fix that for you guys. Oh god. There we go. Let's see here. Well, these always have a premium. The Britannia bars always have a premium. These usually actually have a little bit of a premium. That's pretty cheap, but this is as low as. I want to see just like regular. Here we go. Check that out. $2.40. That's pretty cheap.
That's pretty cheap.
That's pretty cheap for a 10-ounce bar. I mean, given that you're getting random design, and I like how they put this beat-up A-Mark bar in the front, so you know you might get some beat-up 10-ounce bars, but who cares if you're going for weight? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, you're shopping at $24 an ounce right there if you use an e-checker wire. $3.50 premium, that's not bad. I mean, that's what we were seeing on individual rounds 6 months ago.
Yep.
So, I mean, why are you going to go and buy 10 individual rounds when you can just hard stack a 10-ounce bar? I mean, bars were going, up and down last year?
Oh, they were all over.
Started low premium, then high premium, then back down.
Yep.
I mean, everything right now is just signaling buy. If you're in the market, if you have dry powder, you have cash on the side, and you're ready to make a purchase, I'm not expecting the silver spot price to dip below 20, but even if it does, premiums are going to keep it around that, $21.50 to $24.50 that we've been seeing this year.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that volatility that we saw earlier last year, not this year, obviously, earlier last year was a lot of demand. The demand, but it wasn't steady demand. It was like demand for 2 months, and then like a sell-off, and then high demand again. It was
had
weird.
The spike last February because of the Russia-Ukraine situation. That's been going on for 12 months now. I don't think we're going to be seeing another run-up like that unless we get huge news out of Eurasia.
Yeah, or like we mentioned, if they start reversing, or not even, they don't even have to start reversing. If they just don't add any.
They just pause and they let all the markets catch a breath. The bond market, the equity market, the precious metals market. I mean, they're all going to move in kind of tandem. The only thing is precious metals is going to outperform equities with high inflation. So, I mean, if they pause or if they start cutting rates, but inflation doesn't start dying down, let's say they raise rates to 5%, but inflation's still 7.5%, and then the market's under so much pressure, he has to start cutting. If we don't see inflation coming back down, precious metals are going to skyrocket.
Right now, guys, my guess, the Fed wants everything to burn. They want to reset almost.
Yeah, I mean, their whole thing is that they need to ensure employment and keep inflation below a threshold. In order to do that, you basically need to force a recession or at least loosen up the labor market. They want people to be out of the job. They want home foreclosures. They want to see some kind of weakness in the economy so that spending is going to ease, which is going to bring inflation down.
Yeah, and we've actually been seeing a lot of layoffs, a lot of big companies with those layoffs.
A lot of big tech companies that hired way too many people, paid way too high salaries, and they don't need that many people to do that job. What we haven't been seeing layoffs in is retail, manufacturing, shipping. I mean, anything like that, like a real job that adds to the economy, we haven't seen a single layoff. Not saying that tech workers don't add to the economy, but in a tight labor market like this, if you're not producing more than you're worth,
right,
you're not going to keep that job.
Right. Some markets will be more affected than others. It matters more and more in other markets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's just check out the 5-ounce bars out of curiosity here. And by the way, we didn't mention this, but we chose Monument Metals because they seem to be kind of in the middle, right? You got Amex at the top as far as pricing. They're typically the most expensive. And I would go and say probably SD is one of the cheaper.
Yeah, but SD is going to be cheaper by cents. Amex is going to be more expensive by dollars.
Right. So we just went with Monument Metals because they seem to be the median between the retailers. I should have probably said that earlier in the video, but that's okay. Let's see. So here we got another. I like to see these, like variety, random. They typically are the cheapest. So that's what we got. $125.60.
Pretty equivalent to the 10 ounce. I mean, you're getting a smaller side, so you're going to see a little bit more premium, but I mean, it's still cheap. 5-ounce bars were $135, $140 not too long ago.
Yeah, absolutely. It is cheap. And 5-ounce bars are always going to have slightly higher premium. One, because it's less silver. Two, because they are a little bit more popular at the moment, I feel, than 10-ounce bars.
It's a better entry point for someone that doesn't want to spend more than $200. I mean, instead of buying 5 rounds, 5 coins, $125, $126 gets you a nice 5-ounce bar. It's a
feasible.
good entry point.
Yeah, it's feasible. It's doable.
It's the same thing you say about the 1/10ths.
Right.
On the gold.
Exactly.
I mean, if you can't afford a 1/4 ounce, a 1/2 ounce, or a whole ounce, I mean, get your beak wet, get your foot in the door with a 10-ounce gold.
Yep. And that's all mentality, guys. I've, on videos that I've done saying that, the 1/10 ounce, I've had people, with a counter argument on it. It really is your mentality. But I understand 100%. If you can't afford a 10-ounce bar, then obviously you're going to want a 5-ounce bar. But at the same time, it's kind of weird because the Amex just had them for $24, which actually works out cheaper.
Yeah.
So if you bought 4 rounds, the market is so weird, guys. I don't even understand it.
Yeah, but again, we were talking about them trying to liquidate inventory that wasn't moving. I mean,
right.
I don't know if people are buying rounds. I don't know if people are buying bars. What have you been seeing? What are people asking for?
I mean, 5-ounce bars have always been popular. It seems like they've gotten more popular now.
Maybe people are buffaloed out.
And that could be another thing. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you do get bored after a while. Even if you're just like a hardcore stacker and you just want weight, you get bored of seeing the same design over and over.
And it's easier to stack a bar than it is to stack a round.
Right. So, anyways, guys, this was a semi-brief update on the market. We'll probably do this every once in a while.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I have mentioned on my auctions before that me and Angelo will be doing a podcast. So this is just like a sample of kind of what the podcast is going to be about or like.
Yeah, because we'll cover all different things. I mean, we're going to cover a lot of financial advice. We're going to cover equity markets, precious metal markets, things that Guido and I invest in or that we like or that we're watching. That way you guys get a more rounded experience from your precious metals dealer.
And I promise you guys the podcast will be a little bit more laxed. There'll probably be some jokes in there. Obviously, we'll have the live going in the chat. So it'll be a different dynamic. This was a little bit more serious. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And Angelo, any final words?
Keep stacking.
There we go. So, all right, guys, make sure you subscribe if you're interested in the podcast. And we will talk to you guys later.